Morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another important chapter, that is excretion system. So excretion is the most important tool in our body. Why? Because if excretion is not there, it will be very dangerous to the all systems of our body. So we should have to excrete the waste materials. Not only we, all living beings or the life forms should have to excrete the waste materials. So, why excretion is important? To maintain ionic balance, to maintain all the what you call balance, homeostatic conditions. Okay, that's the reason excretion is important. So, in this chapter, what will we discuss? What we will discuss in the sense, first, in this chapter we will discuss about mode of excretion, modes of excretion. That's the first important point. In this chapter we will be discuss about modes of excretion. That is the first thing. And the second thing, we will discuss about excretory organs. We will discuss excretory organs, especially human excretory system. Next, mechanism of urine formation in human. Next, regulation of kidney function. Next, micturition. Next, role of other organs in excretion. Disorders related to the excretory system. Next, hemodialysis. Such kind of all problems, the all concepts will be discussed in this chapter. Okay, children. So, for example, amoeba diffusion. Through diffusion process, it will be excrete. You know very well. And platyhelminthes flame cells. Arthropoda malphizian tubules. Annelida nephridia. Like that, every phylum have one specific excretory organs. So those all will be discussed in this chapter. Okay, first, excretion introduction today. This chapter introduction will be discussed. Means what is the definition of excretion? How the excretion is important, and what are the osmoregulations, osmoconformers. Okay, that one will be discussed. And what is the history behind the why should what you called evolutionary changes, we have to discuss. These all the points will be there in this video. So first, observe very carefully. Earliest animal life forms arose how many years back? 700 million years ago, earliest animal life arose. So they were marine like organisms. They were marine like organisms. Okay, they are marine organisms like the modern sponges. Sorry, they are marine organisms like modern sponges. Okay, marine organisms like modern sponges. Each cell of a modern sponge is surrounded by a each cell of a modern sponge is surrounded by a sea water. This is important. Each cell of a modern sponge is surrounded by sea water. Surrounded by which one? Sea water. But it maintains an intracellular ionic composition. But it maintains intracellular ionic composition different from that of the seawater. So intracellular ionic composition is different than that of from that of the seawater. So why? Because the internal environment is different, external environment is different, right? That's why they have to maintain intracellular ionic composition different from that of the seawater. Next, evolution led to changes. Evolution led to changes in the organization of the tissue layers. So tissue layers organization developed, followed by formation of specialized external tissue layers. Specialized external tissue layers. So because of the specialized external tissue layers, what happened? So this internal is external. So this external fluid, this fluid variation is there. So barrier between the specialized external tissue layers acts as a barriers between which one? What you call external environment and internal fluid. External environment and internal fluid, resulting in the formation of specialized external tissue layers. Okay, specialized external tissue layers. So the external environment, okay, this is a very important. The external environment and internal fluid resulting in the formation of extracellular fluid. So formation of extracellular fluid. Which one? External environment and internal fluid resulting in the formation of what is called extracellular fluid. So major changes. What is it one? External extracellular fluid. The major changes in osmoregulation and ionic regulation occurred during the evolution of chordates. Osmoregulation and ionic regulation occurred during the evolution of chordates. So this is the very important. The ability to control extracellular fluid composition was essential for the ability to control extracellular fluid composition was essential for the diversification of animals to inhabit brackish water, fresh water and land. For example, you see risk of desiccation. Land animals that invaded to the land, they have risk of what you call it, desiccation, and were unable to excrete metabolic waste directly, unable to excrete the metabolic waste directly into the water. So directly into the water. Need another important one. What is it one? Alternating. Okay, so this one need alternate pathways to dispose the nitrogenous waste. So they required alternate pathways to dispose the nitrogenous waste. Most animals rely on kidneys to control. Most animals rely on kidneys to control which one? Ionic and water balance. Some animals depend on external tissues such as gills, skins and digestive mucosa to collectively regulate their homeostatic process. So they will depend on which one for excretion? Even gills, digestive mucosa to collectively regulate three homeostatic process. What are those? Number one, what do you call? Number one, osmotic regulation. Next, ionic regulation and nitrogen excretion. We call osmotic regulation, ionic regulation and nitrogen excretion. Now, osmotic regulation is the control of tissue. Osmotic regulation is a control of the tissue. Okay. Osmotic pressure, which acts as a driving force for movement of water across biological membranes. So water movement point of view, what is called osmotic regulation. Next, ionic regulation. So ionic regulation to control the ionic composition of the body fluids. Next, another important one, the process by which the body gets rid of nitrogenous waste products. Nitrogenous excretion. So what is called protein metabolism is there or not called? So this protein metabolism, we should have to send out the waste products, nitrogenous waste products. Nitrogenous excretion means nitrogenous excretory waste materials what? Ammonia, urea, what is called uric acid. These are all nitrogenous waste. Ammonia is a very toxic materials. Okay, so urea and uric acid is very less toxic. So we should have to convert from ammonia to urea and uric acid to maintain ionic and osmotic homeostasis. Freshwater vertebrates maintain higher salt concentration in their body. Okay, what is called freshwater animals, they can maintain their higher salt concentration in their body. Marine vertebrates maintain lower salt concentration in their body. Marine. They maintain lower salt concentration in their body. So these are the 2 points you should have to remember. Okay, marine low concentration, freshwater high concentration in their body. Next, osmoconformers are to change their internal osmotic concentration with change in the external environment. Osmoconformers means what? According to the external changes, internal also they will be changed according to external conditions. They are called osmoconformers. Osmoregulations, according to the external condition, they won't change. They regulate their temperature, concentrations inside. So, irrespective of their external osmotic environment, they will maintain. Examples, otters. Here, examples, osmoconformers, examples, sharks and mollusks. Sharks and mollusks. Depending on the ability to tolerate changes in the external environment, animals are classified stenohaline and euryhaline. What is stenohaline and euryhaline? It's a word you know very well. Stenohaline animals can tolerate only narrow fluctuations in the salt concentration. Example, goldfish. They can narrow fluctuations. What about the euryhaline animals able to tolerate wide fluctuations? Examples, Tetrima, Tilapia, salmons. The major nitrogenous waste products are ammonia, urea and uric acid. Other waste products are petroleum, TMO, trimethylamine oxide, telost and guanine, hippuric acid, allantoic acid, ornithuric acid, creatine, purine, pyrimidines, okay, terrains, like that. Other nitrogenous waste materials also will be there. So what I am telling is, these all are important points we should have to remember. So earliest animal life 700 million years ago. So they are marine animals, now just like a modern sponges. The sponges, each and every cell surrounded by seawater. They maintain an intracellular ionic composition different from that of the seawater. So they maintain intracellular composition. Evolution led to changes in the organization of the tissue layers, followed by the formation of specialized external tissue layers. So the specialized external tissue layers acts as a barrier between the external environment and internal fluid. Because of that, resulting in the formation of extracellular fluid, major changes in the extracellular fluids are osmoregulation and ionic regulation occurred during the evolution of chordates. The ability to control extracellular fluid composition was essential for the diversification of animals to inhabit brackish water, fresh water and land. Risk of desiccation, unable to excrete metabolic waste directly into the water. Which one? Land animals. Need alternate. Which animals? Risk of desiccation. Terrestrial. So terrestrial animals have risk to desiccation, unable to excrete metabolic waste directly into the water. Need alternate pathways to dispose the nitrogenous wastes. So animals will depend on kidney to control ionic and water balance. Some animals depend on external tissues such as gills, skin and digestive mucosa to collectively regulate their homeostatic process. Next, 3 homeostatic process. What are the homeostatic? To maintain the constancy. So here, osmoregulation, ionic regulation, nitrogen excretion. Osmoregulation, control of tissue osmotic pressure, helpful for the movement of water. Ionic regulation, ionic composition of body fluids, maintain ionic composition of body fluids, protein metabolism. Okay, next, protein metabolism is called what you call the process which body gets rid of the nitrogen waste products of protein metabolism is called. So body will involve the metabolic reactions and waste, protein waste, nitrogenous waste will be formed, that is called excretion. So ammonia is a very dangerous. Should have to convert into urea and uric acid is linked to ionic and osmotic homeostasis. Ammonia to urea, uric acid, you know what do you call that cycle? Ornithine cycle. One cycle is there, ammonia, urea, uric acid will come in the next lesson. Next concept. Ammonia very toxic. Only aquatic animals only the excretory material is ammonia. But here humans, the excretory material is urea and uric acid. Why? Ammonia is toxic. So in the liver cells, the ammonia will be converted into urea and uric acid is linked to ionic and osmotic homeostasis. So freshwater animals have internal higher salt concentration. So why? To maintain their constancy to survive. And marine vertebrates have lower level saltation, lower level salt concentration. High water, freshwater living animals have higher salt concentration in their body fluids. Marine vertebrates have lower salt concentration to survive in that particular habitats. What about terrestrial has more water osmoconformers? Terrestrial has more water in their body. This is another important point. Terrestrial animals have more water composition in their body compared with the outside. What about the osmoconformers and the osmoregulations? The animals which are unable to change according to the outside atmosphere, according to the external conditions, their conditions also, if they're changing in the sense, they will be called osmoconformers, sharks and mollusks. Osmoregulations, which will be regulates irrespective of external conditions. So they are called osmoregulators. They will maintain constancy. What about the euryhaline and stenohaline? So the changes in the external environment depending on the ability to tolerate. Depending on the ability to tolerate. Okay. What is that one? Ability to tolerate changes in the external environment. Animals are classified as stenohaline and euryhaline. Stenohaline and euryhaline. Stenohaline animals can tolerate only narrow fluctuations in the salt concentration. Next, whereas euryhaline animals are able to tolerate wide fluctuations in the salt concentration. Example, Erythemia, Tylpea, and salmons. The major nitrogenous waste products are ammonia, urea, uric acid. Okay. Other waste products of protein metabolism are trimethylamine oxide. Okay. Marine telosed guanine in spiders, hippuric acid, allantoic acid, ornithuric acid, creatine, nin-creatine, purines, pyrimidines, and terrines. Also there, those will be discussed later. Next, in the next class, we will be discuss about what is called the modes of excretion. How the excretion system will be takes place. Excretion process will be takes place. What are the nephridia? What are the flame cells? What are the what is called pharyngeal nephridia, segmental nephridia, okay, integumentary nephridia, and what are the excretory organs in the different animal groups, okay, that one. And what about the human excretory system, okay, what is human excretory system, and kidney structure, internal structure and external structure, and nephron structure, counter current mechanism. These points will be discussed in the next class. So what are the points to remember, bits here in this? Examples of osmoconformers. The first bit in this video, examples for osmoconformers, sharks and mollusks. Second, examples for osmoregulations, stenohaline, okay, what are called otters, okay, examples of what is called stenohaline, goldfish. So what are the three homeostatic processes which are helpful to maintain regulation inside of the body fluids? Homeostasis, osmoregulation, ionic regulation, nitrogenous excretion. What are the nitrogenous wastes? Highly toxic is ammonia, and remaining nitrogenous waste mainly urea and uric acid. So where we can see ammonia as an excretory waste material in the water animals, aquatic animals. Where we can see urea, terrestrial animals. Uric acid, like you know very well, birds, okay, insects. We will see like this kind of waste material. So these are the very important concepts in this particular what you call video. So tomorrow, what we will be discuss, you know very well, the types of organs of the excretory system will be discussed.